Hey guys. Okay, I noticed something this week that's a little uncomfortable to admit about myself, and I bet it's true for you too. So here it is. The people who agree with you are the ones you trust the most. And that's exactly backwards. Because agreement isn't proof someone's right. A lot of the time, it's just proof they're good at making you feel good. Think about it. When someone nods along with everything you say, you walk away thinking, wow, smart person. But what actually happened? They didn't show you they're smart. They showed you they think like you, and your brain quietly treats that as the same thing. So why does agreement feel like intelligence? And what is that quietly costing you in your friendships, your choices, your whole view of the world? Let me walk you through it, because this one runs deeper than you'd guess. So here's the mechanism. Your brain runs on a constant, low background hum of wanting to feel right. Being right feels safe, it feels good. So when someone reflects your own views back at you, you get a little hit of that good feeling, and your brain links it straight to that person. They become one of the good ones. Smart, trustworthy, on your side. This connects to something psychologists sometimes call the similarity bias or affinity, plain version. We instinctively like and trust people who are similar to us, who share our opinions, our taste, our worldview. It's automatic. And it made sense long ago, when similar to me usually meant from my tribe, safe. But today, it means you systematically overtrust people for the simple crime of agreeing with you. Let me give you some examples, because this is everywhere. Think about the last time you instantly clicked with someone. Really think about it. A lot of the time, the click happened the moment you found something you both hated. A boss you both can't stand, a show you both think is overrated. That shared dislike felt like deep connection. But all that happened was your views got mirrored and your brain threw a little party. You barely knew them. You just knew they agreed. That instant click you feel with certain people? It's often a trick. Notice when it usually happens, the moment you discover you both hate the same thing. The same boss, the same show, the same kind of person. Suddenly you feel deeply connected. Like this one gets me. But nothing deep happened. They just mirrored your opinion, and your brain threw a little party for being agreed with. You didn't bond over who they are. You bonded over being right together. So how much of who you trust is really just who flatters your worldview? Or think about advice. When you've got a hard decision, who do you go to? Be honest. A lot of people quietly go to the friend they already know will support what they want to do, not the one who'll challenge it. The one who'll say, yeah, you're totally right, go for it. That's not advice, that's a comfort blanket that talks. You pick the agreeer because agreement feels like wisdom, when actually the friend who pushes back is usually the one worth listening to. And get this. It even decides who you think is smart in a room. Watch yourself in a group conversation. The person who echoes your take, you walk away thinking they're sharp, insightful, the smart one. The person who disagreed with you, even politely, even with a good point, you quietly file as a bit difficult, a bit off. You didn't judge their intelligence. You judged how much they matched you and called it intelligence. So here's where it gets a little darker, because this doesn't just shape who you like. It slowly seals you inside a bubble, and you build it yourself, brick by brick. Think about it. If you trust agreeers and quietly distrust challengers, what happens over years? You drift toward people who echo you, and away from people who question you. Your social circle slowly becomes a hall of mirrors. Everyone reflects you back at yourself, and you mistake that for being surrounded by smart, sensible people. Really, you've just filtered out everyone who might have told you something you needed to hear. The more right you feel all the time, the more cut off you probably are. But here's the part nobody tells you. Once you know your brain rewards agreement, you can flip the whole thing. You can train yourself to actually value the discomfort of being challenged, and it changes who you keep close and how good your decisions get. So what do you actually do with this? Here's the practical part. First, when you feel that warm click of agreement, pause and get a little suspicious of it. Not cynical, just awake. Ask yourself, do I trust this person because they're actually right, or just because they agreed with me? That tiny question breaks the spell. It separates "this feels good" from "this is true," which your brain desperately wants to glue together. The good feeling is real. It's just not evidence. Second, actively protect the people who disagree with you well. Here's the move. When someone pushes back on you with a real point, and you feel that flicker of ugh, difficult, catch it. Flip it. That person just did you a favor most people won't. Instead of filing them under annoying, file them under valuable. Tell them, even, that you want them to challenge you. The friend who disagrees with you honestly is rarer and worth 10 who just nod. Here's a question that tells you who's actually good for you. Think of the friend who pushes back on you, who says, "I'm not sure you're right about that." Your gut files them as a little difficult, right? Now flip it. That person is doing the thing almost nobody will, telling you the truth instead of what you want to hear. The friends who just nod along feel great and teach you nothing. The one who disagrees, honestly and with care, is worth 10 of them. So the people slightly annoying you might be the only ones keeping you sane. Third, go looking for the strongest version of the view you disagree with, not the dumb version that's easy to laugh at, the smartest one. When you can actually understand why a reasonable person might think the opposite of you, two things happen. You either find out you were missing something, or your own view gets stronger because now it survived a real test. Either way, you win. And you slowly become someone who can't be trapped in a bubble, because you keep walking out of it on purpose. Now, let me push back on my own point a little, because there's a real nuance here, and it matters. This doesn't mean agreement is always shallow, or that everyone who agrees with you is a flatterer. Sometimes people agree with you because you're simply right, and shared values are a real, beautiful basis for friendship. You don't have to treat every kind, agreeable person as a suspect. That way lies a cold, exhausting paranoia where you can't enjoy anyone who likes you. The point isn't to distrust agreement, it's to stop automatically converting it into trust and intelligence without checking, and the flip side is just as true. Disagreement isn't automatically valuable either. Some people just argue to feel superior, contradicting everything to seem deep, and that's not insight, that's a different kind of ego. So the goal isn't to worship contrarians and suspect everyone agreeable, it's subtler than that. It's to unhook your sense of who's right from your sense of who agrees with you. Those were never the same thing. Your brain just wired them together to save time. Because here's what's really at stake under all of this. The whole point of other people, the real gift of not being alone in your own head, is access to views you couldn't generate yourself. Other minds, seeing what you can't see. But if you only trust the ones that echo you, you throw that gift away. You surround yourself with people, and stay just as trapped as if you were alone, except now it feels like company. The bubble is comfortable. That's exactly what makes it dangerous. So here's where it all lands. Agreement feels like truth, but it's just a mirror, and you can't learn anything new from a mirror. The people who make you feel right all the time are giving you a drug, not a gift. The ones worth keeping close are the ones brave enough and honest enough to sometimes tell you you're wrong. They feel worse in the moment. They're the only ones who can actually take you somewhere you haven't already been. If you're into this kind of thing, me pulling apart how people actually work, hit subscribe. I dig into a new one every week.